Hello everyone, I'm Chester44 and welcome to this Let's Play of Jade Empire. We're dead! Last episode, we finally confronted the Emperor and managed to defeat him. The Emperor has been slain, and then, after we had rescued Master Li, he came forward and killed us. Turns out it was all a power grab from Master Li, a 20-year-long patient plan to raise us up so that we could kill the Emperor so that he could get the Water Dragon's power. Fortunately, in the brief time between the Emperor being dead and Master Li taking the power, the Water Dragon managed to find our spirit and send us off to the Temple of Dirge so that we can come back to life. We just have to find an Abbot's song, I believe it is, and then I think it's cleanse her fountains or something. The fountains at her temple, something like that. I think that might just be the way out that we can't take because we can't leave. Gem of Premonition. I mean, at least we can still use this. This gem's inner structure does not appear similar to any other essence gem, and there are no records of it ever having been created. Its origin is a mystery, as is the nature of its power. It appears to give the wielder a glimmer of the future, enabling its user to move away from coming harm. It does not remove the danger, but makes danger easier to avoid. We have no need for that. And I don't think we have anything... No, we don't have anything to get from you.
Waiting for you.
Interesting that he can still sell us things despite the fact that we're dead. Oh, great. Demons! Yep, nice try. Ow. Okay, he's dead. Good. Now let's move on. I wonder if, now that we're a spirit, we can harm other spirits with swords. He looks familiar.
This cannot be. Is it really possible? I sense the mark of the Water Dragon upon you. You have returned.
Who are you?
You don't recognize me? No, of course not. You were just an infant when you were taken from us. I am the spirit of Abbot Saul, slain many years ago by the glorious strategist. Before my death, I was the head of the Spirit Monk Order. Your order.
Aha. The glorious strategist. You mean Master Li?
Master Li? He is Sun Li, the traitor. How out of balance the world has become when one of our order believes Sun Li to be his master. You are a spirit monk, born here in Dirge and cleansed in the sacred fountains. You were an infant the day the Emperor and Sun Li attacked our monastery. I tried to save you from the slaughter, only to lose you to Li when he ripped you from the arms of your dying guardian.
Li claimed he was the one who saved me.
I can only imagine what lies and distortions he told you about Dirge, your heritage, and his own role in events here. But now, you deserve to hear the truth. 30 years ago, the long drought struck the land. For a decade, crops withered and died. Starving people across the Empire demanded that something be done. Despite his position, Emperor Sun Hai could not alter the natural order. He demanded that his brother, the glorious strategist, concoct a plan to rectify this insult. Through Sun Li's cunning, the armies of the Emperor laid siege to the gates of Dirge. They came to seize the Water Dragon's power and her life-giving waters.
What happened when they attacked Dirge?
The soldiers of the Imperial army swarmed over us, too many to count. My spirit monks fought bravely, but I knew the battle was lost. We were beaten. All around me, my fellow spirit monks were dying. I tried to hold the attackers at bay. Prince Qin attacked me, and then Master Li cut me down from behind. The Emperor ascended unopposed, but already Sun Li and Prince Qin plotted against him. The glorious strategist was not content to watch his brother come to power. Emperor Sun Hai, ruler of the Jade Empire, stepped beyond his station and slew the Water Dragon, claiming her power for his own. His brothers tried to strike him down, but they could not know he would be so strong. Infused with the Water Dragon's power, he was now unbelievably powerful. Sun Li escaped with his life, but he left his brother, Prince Qin, to suffer the Emperor's terrible vengeance. A spirit monk child still lived. He killed your guardian. Claiming his identity, no longer a servant of the Emperor, Li abandoned his fearsome armor to become the master you thought you knew. If you and the amulet were the key to defeating his brother, he might still claim that power. Li disappeared with you and the amulet, escaping the Emperor's retribution. With his newfound power, the Emperor, as a taunt to his traitorous brother, bound Qin's spirit to the armor Li had left behind. And Death's Hand was born.
Dear me.
You were the last of the spirit monks. Sun Li saw our attempt to save you as confirmation of your importance. He believed you were meant to restore what he helped steal. He trained you to be an instrument of vengeance, an agent to succeed where he and Prince Qin had failed. But with your death, the Emperor is now invincible.
I defeated the Emperor, and then Li betrayed me.
Then the glorious strategist has won. You were the last of the spirit monks. But now you are just a ghost like the rest of us. No one is left to oppose Sun Li.
The Water Dragon still believes there is hope.
You spoke with the Water Dragon? Of course. Only she could guide your spirit to Dirge, while all others must wander the mortal world. I worried that our last hope had died with you, but now I see you have come to restore the fountains of Dirge. The first step in restoring the Water Dragon herself. As leader of the spirit monks in life, I am bound by honor and duty to aid you in this task. I swear, I will not abandon you until the fountains of Dirge are restored.
Thank you, Abbot Song. I'm honored to have you with me.
I can guide you here in Dirge, this lost home of yours. I know the monastery well, and will do everything in my power to help you restore the fountains.
So how am I supposed to restore the fountains?
The fountains were tainted with human blood, which shattered their seals. The blood that stained them is gone. Replacing the seals should restore them.
Alright. I have some questions.
I know the monastery well. If there are questions you wish to ask in your quest to restore the fountains, I will do my best to answer them.
Do you have any advice for me?
Only that you should do as the water dragon asked, and try to restore the fountains of Dirge.
Okay. Other questions? I want to know more about my amulet.
The amulet is an artifact of great power, though few truly understand its nature. What do you wish to know?
I saw Lee take it from me. How can I still use it?
The amulet is a powerful tool, but it is only a tool. When you were first learning to unleash the power within you, the amulet helped you to focus your mind and energy. But you are a spirit monk. The power of the water dragon was always in you, not in the amulet. Now you are strong enough to draw on that power without the amulet.
If the power was mine, what does the amulet do exactly?
It is a tool and a focus. It allows you to understand the power you can wield, and to use the essence gems that so many discount as trinkets. We alone can draw on more than one gem at a time. You can do this, even without the physical amulet, now that you know your true nature.
Okay. If the amulet is only a focus, why did Lee take it from me?
You no longer need the amulet, but Lee has a use for it. Lee's brother, Sunhai, consumed the water dragon's power, but without the amulet, it was a long and slow process. Even after 20 years, he was not strong enough to defeat you. Had the Lotus Assassins brought him enough pieces of the amulet, he would have been far more powerful. But Sun Li has the amulet, making him far more dangerous. With it, he can draw on the water dragon's power much faster. Unless you stop him soon, he will become invincible.
Okay then. And why were the pieces of the amulet scattered across the Empire?
I did not want the amulet to fall into the hands of our enemy. When I realized the battle was lost, I shattered it into several pieces. I gave the pieces to my apprentices and told them to flee to the farthest reaches of the Empire. The core of the amulet was given to the young monk who fled with you. I knew the core alone would be enough for you to start discovering your true power. But anyone else would need to find all the pieces to use the amulet.
Alright, I have another question. I'm curious about the spirit monks in Dirge.
I would be honored to help you learn more about our order and your legacy.
You said that I was born here at Dirge.
Many of our order were brought to us as children. Orphans we raised to serve our great mistress. But a few children are born here at the monastery. Both your mother and father were spirit monks. You were born right here in Dirge, and bathed in the sacred fountains, mere days before we were destroyed. Both your mother and father died in the attack, along with the rest of us who served the Water Dragon.
Doesn't surprise me much. What were my parents like?
They were good people. Their love for each other was matched only by their devotion to the Water Dragon herself. Had they survived, you would have been raised here in Dirge. They would have instructed you from birth in the duties of a spirit monk. It is a tragedy you never knew them.
It would have been nice to know them, yes. What did the spirit monks do, exactly?
We served the Water Dragon as her guardians and protectors. We saw to the needs of her physical form, maintained Dirge, and honored her with worship and prayer.
Is that all?
We also served as shepherds for the dead. Most spirits came to Dirge in time, but sometimes a spirit was unable or unwilling to leave the mortal world behind. We would seek out these lost spirits. Those with unfinished business or those who had suffered traumatic deaths would need our help to reach Dirge. But now that the water dragon is gone, none of the spirits can find their way to Dirge. And those already here are trapped. The portal to the afterlife is sealed.
Tell me more about Dirge.
Dirge is a place between. It exists in both the mortal world and the spirit realm, and it leads to the underworld itself. It is a bridge between life and death. Once it was a holy place, but now it is defiled. Dirge has become a place of great evil and corruption, a corruption that has been growing for the past 20 years.
Alright, I think we should move on.
You are probably right. We must restore the water dragon's power before Sun Li gains full command of her powers.
Indeed. I have a little time. Oh! Are you actually... Yes, you are. Attack Monk's Spade. Support recovers your chi, focus, and health. Abbot's Song's attacks can damage spirits. The Abbot of the Doomed Spirit Monks, Abbot's Song serves the Water Dragon even in death. His hope for redemption lies with you. Since he recovers all of them, I'll set him to support for now. That might help a little. The Ritual of Binding. The ability to bind a spirit is one of the great honors that the Water Dragon has bestowed upon us. Therefore, we must always remember to treat this gift with the proper respect. When you bind a spirit, you become the guardian of that spirit. It is as though the spirit is your child. Though it is your duty to return the spirit to the Water Dragon for her judgment, until you give the spirit over to her, you are fully responsible for that spirit. Since the spirit will obey your every command, you must always have the best interests of the spirit in mind while it is under your control. You must never command a spirit to do anything that might affect the Water Dragon's judgment of that spirit later on. And though it is the most common rule when binding spirits, I will repeat it again. Under no circumstances will you ever bind the spirit of a living person. Such acts are punishable by death and judgment at the hands of the Water Dragon herself. Okay then. This appears to be one of the fountains. Oh dear. Nope, I can't. Okay, ow, ow. Ow. At least I'm getting some support recovery. Please stop and just let me go. Stop that, for the love of God! Stop, for the love of... Thank you. Now you are definitely going to die. Oh, fucking hell. Ow. Oh, come on! Stop that already! For the love of God. Will you all just stop? Oh wow, I'm immolated. I am on fire. This is exactly what I want. Will you stop that? I fucking hate mages. God damn it. And now I'm... There, that's one dead. Now for the ice one.
This is your go.
I don't care about the fire one. You weren't causing me problems. The wind guy is at least dead, and I no longer have to worry about it. I just have to deal with the ice person. Now you're going to die.
You will fall. Spirit. Leaping tight.
Okay. Now I'll finally be able to finish you off. I guess I didn't really need any support. Well, actually I did. If I didn't have any support, this would have been a huge problem. We would have destroyed them at least. Oh boy.
The guardian of this fountain is destroyed, and I weep for her. She was once one of our order, but lured by Lee's promises of wealth and power, she betrayed us.
Who was she?
This thing is the corrupted spirit of Xiang Wu. During the attack, she and several other spirit monks betrayed us by tainting the holy fountains with human blood. Long before the attack, Lee sent spies to bribe some of our weaker members. When they tainted the fountains, the power sustaining us against the army vanished.
What happened to Xian Wu?
After the battle, the Emperor executed Xiang Wu and the others, and he used the power of the Water Dragon to bind their spirits to the fountains.
That's awful.
Their crime was terrible, but they did not deserve this fate. They suffered endless torment from which they could never escape. Such is the power of the binding.
What's so bad about the binding?
The binding is a sacred ritual of the spirit monks. We can draw on the power of the Water Dragon to bind a spirit to us. It is one of our tools for shepherding the dead. Even before Dirge was befouled, there were ghosts in the world. Some spirits would become lost in their journey here, or refuse to let go of the mortal world and go mad. If we found one of these restless ghosts, we could bind it to us and bring it to Dirge. Then we would release the spirit, so the Water Dragon could lead it into the afterlife.
So the Emperor did this to Xian Wu?
The binding is a great gift from the Water Dragon, if used properly. But the power can be abused. The Emperor bound the traitors not to himself, but to a place. A spirit can never escape such a binding. It feels an inexorable pull, but it has nowhere to go. It feels a compulsion to obey, but is never given a command.
It does sound like torture.
The spirit twists and corrupts, and in its agony it goes mad. Binding a spirit to a place is a terrible crime for our order. The only thing worse is binding a living creature.
Is that how Sun Qin was bound to Li's armor? Does it have that kind of power?
Binding the living condemns them to a fate worse than death. It forces the subject to obey and robs them of their free will. As a spirit monk, you must never do such a thing. The ability to bind spirits comes from the essence of the Water Dragon inside you. You may not have the power now, but one day you will be able to call upon it when needed. But this is not the time for lessons or instruction. The Guardian is dead, but you must place the seal on the fountain for it to be fully restored.
And we have the Dirge Fountain Seal. Well, Abbot Song, you helped me out with that restoration, so we'll switch you back to attack. You'll be able to help out more. Alright, and I think I'll put it on in the next episode, because this one's gone on about long enough. Seems like an okay place to pause. Next episode, we'll put the seal on and get to restoring Dirge itself. But that'll be in the next episode. So until then, I'm Chester44. That is Jin and Abbot Song. This has been a Let's Play of Jade Empire. And I shall see you all next time.